Hello everyone, myself Naresh H, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, SIT, Tumakuru. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to tutorials on computer-aided machine drawing. Today, I am going to show you how to develop the model by using part modeling workbench in SolidWorks. So let's begin. So this is one of the simple model shown here. A pictorial view of casting shown in figure. Draw the front view and top view, adapt suitable scale and insert all the dimensions. So this is the pictorial view shown and this is the dimensions shown and this is the views mentioned in the figure. So based on the views shown here, accordingly you need to choose the planes in SolidWorks. Suppose if this is the front view, if you want to get this as the front view after developing the model, you need to select the front plane and you need to construct this geometry in the front plane only. Then only you will get this as the front view. Open the SolidWorks software. So this is the window it will pop up. So now go for new. So three important workbenches you can see here. One is part, one is assembly and one is drawing. So part workbench is to develop the part models. Assembly workbench is to assemble all the components to make it as a single product. And finally from the assembly you need to develop a drawings, 2D drawings. So now let's begin with the part modeling. Click OK. So this is your workspace. So before starting with generating the model, I will show you some of the initial settings you have to do before developing a model. So here you can see IPS and MMGS. Sometimes automatically it will be in the IPS mode. So change this to MMGS. Later it will be very difficult to change this. So as a initial settings, change from IPS to MMGS. And the second one, so right click on this toolbar. If these two are not highlighted, it will looks like this. If you are unable to see the command manager, right click on this, click on command manager. And if you are using icons like this, if you can't able to read what this icon, then again right click on this, use large button with text. So now you can see the icons with text. So these are some of the initial settings you need to perform. So three planes you can see here. One is front plane, one is top plane and one is right plane. So let's begin with the front plane. Go for sketch. So now I will draw some reference lines. Again select center line. So reference lines. Next select line. So I will start from this point. I am going to construct a geometry like this. I am going to split this drawing into two parts. So first part I am going to develop a geometry like this. In the second part I am going to develop this semicircle and I am going to extrude this. So I am splitting it as a two parts. Even if you want, you can construct it as a single geometry and you can extrude. So to make it simple, as it is a first problem, I am going to split this as two geometry. So let's begin creating the geometry like this. Okay. Next, I am going to make this geometry as symmetry, because whenever I specify the dimension, I want that dimension to be equally shared on both sides, towards left and towards right. Because if you are not making this geometry as symmetry, in the later cases to add some additional features, it will be very difficult for you to perform the operations. So better all the geometries make it as symmetry. To make it symmetry, first I will select this end point of a line, press Ctrl and select this end point of a line. Again press Ctrl and select this axis line here you can see symmetry option. You click on symmetric and click OK. So after this I am going to give the dimension for this smart dimension. So let's see the figure again. So this is 15 and this is 15 and this is 80. So click on the line, click here, edit this as 15 and this is 15 and this is 80. You can adjust this like this. Again smart dimension. So this is obviously 15 and this should be 15. So next, height is 35. From here to center it is 35. So from here to here it is 35. Now see the color of sketch. It is in black color, which indicates fully defined, means all the dimensions are completely constrained. You can exit this workbench and you can perform the remaining operations. If it is in blue color, which means it is underdefined, some more dimensions are required to make it fully defined. So now it is completely defined. Now I am exiting this workbench. You can press scroll and move the mouse button to rotate. So now I am going to add the features for it. I want to add the material for this geometry. So select extrude bars or base. So now you can drag this arrow mark. So it is filling the material in one direction. Always remember, it is preferable to fill the material in both the direction. So instead of blind, I will select this as mid plane. So now material is filled on both sides. So go for geometry. So its thickness is 25 mm. So I will specify this thickness as 25 mm. So this will be equally shared on both directions. So click OK. Next, if you want to edit any dimensions, by mistake you have given some other dimension, just click on this plus, click on sketch and go for edit sketch and again press Ctrl 8. So if you want to change any dimensions, you can update the dimensions and again go back to the workbench. Automatically it will be updated in the 3D workspace. So this is how to edit the dimension. So now I want to perform another operation by creating this semicircle over here. So now I want to perform that. I want to choose a plane. So I am selecting this plane for sketch. So click on this face and click on sketch and press Ctrl 8. Next, go for circle. So move this cursor on the line. It will show you the center of that line. So on the center of line you can create the circle till end point of this line. Click like this and again go for line. Draw the line from here to here. Next, trim entities. So this command is used to trim the extra entities or trim the extra curves or trim to extra lines. Here this curve is not required for the operation. So I am going to trim this. Only closed profiles are required to create the model. If profile is not closed, then you can't able to create the model. So always be careful. If you are getting some error, the first thing you need to check is check for the sketch whether it is closed or not. So now you can exit this workbench. You can rotate and you can add the material. So if it is taking in the other direction, you can just click on this reverse direction. So it will coming in the opposite direction. So its thickness is also 25. Just click OK. So this is done. So next I want to create a hole exactly at the center. So again, to perform that, I will select this face for sketch, go for sketch, press Ctrl 8. Next, select circle. So there are some relationship you can use while creating the circles, because I don't have any reference exactly at the center to draw the circle here. So what I will do, so I will draw circle somewhere here. Click. Now I will click on this circle, control, click on this semicircle. You can use some relationship here. So as two circles having the same center, I will make it as concentric. So now this circle will share the center of this circle. Now give the dimension for this circle. So its dimension is 15, diameter 15 mm. So you can exit the workbench. So in this case, I want to remove the material. In the previous cases, we are adding the material. Here I want to remove the material. To do that, I will use extrude cut. Extrude cut. So here, through hole, if you have any other features after this geometry, then you should use through hole to develop a hole with all the features. But if you want till to this geometry, then you can use up to next. Or if you have this hole only to the specified dimensions, then you can use blind and you can specify the dimension over here. So in this case, I can use up to next. Click OK. So your model is done, and this is your product tree. You can see here. So before developing a 2D drawings, I want to save this drawing. Save your drawing. I'm going to save this as part 1. Save. Okay, for time being I will change this as part 5. Click OK. Now again click, go for new. I am creating a drawing from the model now. Click OK. So here go for browse and choose A4 landscape. A4 landscape solid part. Okay, you can choose this one, open, and you can uncheck this and click OK. Okay, so this is the A4 sheet now. Next go to view layout, click on model view. So if this part is not visible here, you can click on browse and you can choose the part where you have saved previously and click open. So here you will get your part. You can just double click on this and leave it on the screen. So this is your front view, and again you can generate the projections of it, top view as well as side view. Okay, click OK. Next, always remember to switch on the hidden lines. You just click on this model and you can click on this hidden lines visible. So all the hidden lines are visible now. Next, if you want to change the scale, in this case it is sufficient. Suppose if you want to custom scale, you can change this to custom scale and you can change the scale ratio over here. If you want to insert the isometric view, again go for view layout, model view, again double click on this. So this is your isometric view. Click on this. So click on the screen. If you want to fill the solid inside, you just click over here. So this is your isometric view. Next, go for annotation, go for smart dimensions. So what are all the dimensions you can see in the figure given? You need to show all the dimensions in your drawings also. So click on this circle, click on this semicircle. Suppose these dimensions are coming in inch, again change this to mmgs from IPS. Okay, again click on this length. So click on this length. So there, thickness 25. So I hope all the dimensions are shown here. If If you want to write something like your USN number and your name, just click on note and click over here, and you can type your name and you can type your USN number here. Okay, so later you can save your drawing. Save as drawing, save. So thank you all. We'll see you in the next video.